smell what The Rock is cooking. The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith.
Hello and welcome to the AEW Wrestling Talk Show with Lisa Jones and
Sean Smith, and we bring you our reactions to Night 1 and Night 2 of AEW Fyter Fest, which was originally going to take place at Wembley here in the UK, but due to a certain pandemic, that is not happening, so it was taken to Daly's Palace in Jacksonville, Florida.
yes, instead of taking place in London, England, they had to split it into two nights. Well, they didn't have to, they decided to.
So, we will kick off with Night 1.
Night 1 took place on July 1st, or last Wednesday, and featured 5 matches.
Yes, 5 matches.
And we started with Jurassic Express in Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
With Marco Stunt in their corner.
Surprising at least us two by defeating MJF and Wardlow.
We do mean by literally surprise. We were not expecting this result.
However, it seems to me that with MJF and Wardlow, they seem to be going down the route of The Miz and Alex Riley.
Yes, it does seem to be that, but are we allowed to say those words?
In which, at some point, Wardlow's going to snap on MJF.
Wouldn't surprise me, let's be honest.
And next we had our first of 4, well, technically 3.5 championship matches.
Yeah.
When the AEW Women's Championship was defended
as Akira Shida defended her championship against Penelope Ford.
Now, I don't think it'll come as a surprise that Shida ended up winning this match. Simply because Penelope Ford was kind of put into this match as a replacement for what appeared to be the original plan of Dr. Britt Baker.
BMD.
Or is it Dr. Britt Baker Cole?
Okay, we'll swiftly move on.
Sticking with championships.
Yes.
Jake Hager, who was accompanied by
Catalina Hager,
was challenging Cody for the AEW Unfinished Championship.
the AEW TNT Championship to be precise. So,
I don't think it'll come as a surprise to anyone that Cody retained the AEW TNT Championship.
However, though, Jake Hager, after the match, knocked out referee in frustration,
forcing him to be quote-unquote storyline suspended.
and we do stress the word storyline.
The question can also be raised as to whether they will keep the championship on Cody until they can actually 100% finish the design.
Yes, but due to a certain pandemic, they can't finish championship at the moment.
And yet a certain other company can.
But moving swiftly on, we'll now head on to a tag team match between Private Party, Isaiah Kennedy and Mark Queen, being come to the ring by Matt Hardy, taking on the Inner Circle of Santana and Ortiz.
Yes, and this would not be the first time that Santana and Ortiz would be featured across Fyter Fest, but that will be the story of a different situation. The winners of this match ultimately was Private Party.
Unsurprising, really, to be honest.
And the main event of night one saw the best friends of Chuck Taylor and Trent challenge Kenny Omega and Handman Adam Page for the AEW Tag Team Championships.
Now, going into this match, what were we expecting?
I was expecting, really, the team of Omega and Page to retain simply because of where they possibly seem to be heading is for Omega and Page to possibly lose the titles to a team that recently left a different company.
Agreed.
So ultimately, Omega and Page retained the Tag Team Championships.
Now we move on to night 2.
But before we do, we'll quickly run through the results of night 1.
Jurassic Express with Jungle Boy Luchasaurus beat MJF and Wardlow.
Akira Shida defeated Penelope Ford to retain the AEW Women's Championship.
Cody retained the AEW TNT Championship by defeating Jake Hager.
Private Party defeated Inner Circle members Santana and Ortiz.
And Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega retained the AEW Tag Team Championships by defeating best friends Chuck Taylor and Trent.
Night 2 of Fyter Fest
Oh boy.
took place this past week on the 8th of July, and as these things say but rarely are, card subject to change.
Yes, regarding one of the matches that we mentioned in our pre-show.
Initially, Brian Cage was going to be challenging Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. However, due to a certain company's very poor handling of the pandemic that the world now finds itself in,
Yes.
Jon Moxley's wife was tested positive for
COVID-19, so the match had to be shelved.
and will now take place on this coming week's episode of Dynamite. No, Fight for the Fallen.
Yep.
Which also has a few other matches on it, but we'll not
Get on to that a bit later.
So, due to that match being pulled,
AEW had to pull a fast one.
yes, and Omega and Page were asked to pull double duty.
And once again, they defended their tag team championships against the team of Isaiah Kennedy and Mark Queen. Yes, Private Pie ended up getting a tag team title match as a result of what happened to John Moxley.
And simply because this match was thrown together, Omega and Page ended up retaining.
They pretty much did. No questions asked.
Now, Lance Archer,
The monster that he is.
who came up short in the attempt to become the inaugural TNT champion, would take on Joey Janela.
In what would essentially be called a squash match.
Possibly, but considering how long it was, I wouldn't necessarily say that.
But in either fact, the winner of the match
It was a Lance Archer. Now, we have another tag team match coming up, with an 8-man tag team match. When the Butcher and the Blade teamed up with the Lucha Brothers
yes.
to take on the team of FTR, or more commonly known as the Revival,
Oh, copyright.
and the Young Bucks.
Now, this result surprised me and my colleague.
Yes, we were fully expecting, considering that
The FTR
yeah,
have not long signed with the company.
and this would be technically their first / pay-per-view, if you can call it that, match, that they would be on the winning side. Our survey says
No, because the winning team of the match were the Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Brothers.
our next match saw Nyla Rose squash 2 jobbers in 2 minutes.
That would be a sufficient understatement.
Then in yet another tag team match,
We had the team of Colt Cabana and the Dark Order taking on SoCal Uncensored of Scorpio Sky, Frankie Kazarian, and Christopher Daniels.
and the Dark Order of Luke Harper.
Confirmed for a copyright.
Took you on that.
And then picking up the victory.
Yeah, Colt Cabana, the Dark Order, did pick up the victory here, which is not necessarily too surprising because the Dark Order has been a bit iffy at the moment.
Yes, picking up losses after losses after losses, so they were due a win at some point.
Hey, does anyone fancy some freshly squeezed orange juice?
Why? Come to think of it.
Because the main event of night 2 saw Orange Cassidy going on one with the champion, Chris Jericho.
Now, apparently the people were saying this match was very, very good.
Well, what do you expect? I mean, Jericho may be in his 50s, or close to being in his 50s, but the guy knows how to work, and with someone who is able to jump around and give him a good match.
Then Chris Jericho is your person.
It's essentially what he's in AEW to do these days, is to help younger talent.
But either way, the winner of the match was Le Champion, Chris Jericho.
Even though Le Champion is titleless.
So let us run you through the results once more for night 2.
Kenny Omega and Adam Page retained the tag team titles over a Private Party.
Lance Archer defeated Joey Janela.
The Butcher and the Blade defeated FTR and the Young Bucks.
And Nyla Rose squashed 2 jobbers inside 2 minutes.
Colt Cabana and the Dark Order defeated Soko and Censored.
They did. Colt Cabana and the Dark Order defeated Censored. And Chris Jericho beat freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. So that about does it for AEW Fyter Fest.
Yes, now, in regards to Fight for a Fallen,
which takes place
on next week's Dynamite, before that, actually now probably think about it, despite the fact that Brian Cage was not in the championship match at Fyter Fest, he was presented by Taz with the FTW Championship.
Yes.
Which was essentially ECW's version of the $1 Million Championship, which is basically a unofficial World Championship.
Yes. So, yeah, that's a little bit of trouble there.
Yes, but Fight for a Fallen at the moment has 4 matches down to take place.
It does.
Of course, John Moxley will defend the AEW Championship against Brian Cage.
And what else do we have?
Cody will be defending the TNT Championship against Sonny Kiss.
And what else do we have?
FTR will be taking on the Lucha Brothers.
Oh, nice.
And the Elite in Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks will be taking on Jurassic Express in a 6-man tag team match. So that does it for AEW
Fyter Fest
over the past 2 weeks. Join us momentarily where we will bring you what you could have seen if you chose to watch wrestling on the other channel.
So we will see. So until then, he's been
Rhys Jones and he's been
Sean Smith. We will see you momentarily.